But if you look at this, what is fraud? Well, fraud is theft by deception. There's a lot of ways I could steal from you. Okay, right? There's burglary, larceny, thievery. They all have different definitions under the law, but theft by deception is fraud. And that's why I want to set up deception. Because if you think you can't be deceived, you will be. And the number one industry is yours. Nonprofit or religious nonprofit, they put those things together. Why is that? Why religious nonprofit? Is it because we're a bunch of bums? Absolutely not. It's because of this. We have a high trust environment. So if I come for the knife, you'll probably willingly give me your wallet. But I've got to be a really nice, trustworthy guy to get your wallet by deception, okay, or to get your organization's checkbook by deception. Okay. High trust environment, low competency. Who here is overpaid? So I'm the only guy with my hand up? Okay, so all the rest of you people are apparently underpaid. Well, guess what? That tends to be what happens in nonprofits. A lot of people are volunteering, okay? You start with 75 people in the basement of a church and it becomes a mega church with 10,000 people. You're still in charge of the money. You had enough knowledge to do 75 people. You can't handle 10,000. Okay, the competency gets away from you. Okay, and the last thing, and this is a big one, I've noticed it in organizations I've been around, but there's not the usual controls in a for-profit setting. For-profit, if I invest in a share of stock, I can watch it going up and down. You know, I can go out and check the ticker symbol or something, right? I also get dividends. I know how it's performing, okay? But with nonprofits, the donors are not connected a lot of times to the beneficiaries. They're not expecting anything back. Because of that, it creates this accountability divide, and it's really challenging for your organizations. So you're really ripe for deception. It happens 3,000 years ago. It happens 500 years ago. It happens in your church today, potentially. So today I want to demystify fraud. Deceitfulness of wealth, it really is a huge issue in your organization. What you need to do is two things. Protect your people and protect your assets. Motivators. Research shows there's 4 main motivators for fraud. And the 3 I always hear talked about, well, money's normal, ego's way up there. Coercion, that kind of reminds you of, you know, here's the bank president and they've got his wife and kids at gunpoint and he's got to go open the safe. You know, coercion could happen for fraud, okay? That's brought up in the literature a little bit. This last one, though, ideology, is rarely brought up in the literature and I think totally missed for nonprofit organizations. Your ideology is why you may commit fraud. I think, again, it's theft by deception. I think you're going back to deception thinking you have to pull it off, God can't do it. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is about the fraud triangle. And the fraud triangle is very famous. This is what auditors use. It was originally SAS 99. But the fraud triangle, this is based on some research that shows you need 3 things for fraud to occur in your organization. If you can get one of those things to go away, the fraud will go away. Okay? It's like it's under the theory of the fire triangle. With fire, you need 3 things. You need heat, you need oxygen, and you need fuel. Why do you cover a fire? You're getting rid of the oxygen. You can pull the logs apart so they're not against each other. You're taking the fuel away. Okay, and I guess you can't have a cold fire. At least I haven't been by one of those. Anyway, I'm not a scientist to know how that works, but they've related over to fraud research and say you need to have an incentive or a pressure. And notice, by the way, I'm calling this person the accidental fraudster. This is the you fraudster. Okay, not those predatories. I'm going to talk about a predatory fraudster in just a moment. But the fraudster that might look like you, by accident, you've got this unshareable financial need. Second thing is you've got to have the perception that there's opportunity. I say perception because sometimes you get caught, so I guess there wasn't. But you need opportunity. And the third thing you need to do is the ability to live with yourself. The ability to rationalize what you're doing is okay. I'm just short on rent this week. I'm taking $20 out of the plate just to cover things. You know, or until I get that job. I just lost my job. I'll get one next week. Oop, didn't get one next week. Oop, didn't get one the next week. That's okay. I'm keeping track. I'm going to pay it back when I get my job. Okay, that's why you get 2 sets of books. A lot of times the 2 sets of books is because somebody really does plan on paying it back. So that's the accidental fraudster. That's why you need controls in place to protect your organization. There's a predatory fraudster also. Instead of incentive pressure, you have a criminal mindset. And instead of a rationalization, it's just arrogance. Well, that person needed robbing. They're so dumb. If you're going to leave it just sitting there, of course I'm going to take it. Okay? All they really need is opportunity. And a famous guy who's in the news a lot these days, Sam Antar, he was the CFO for Crazy Eddie. He's attacked the fraud triangle and said, "You kidding? We knew we're organized crime. We knew it was wrong. They let us, the bozos." And you look around and you get down to it's like, all this person needs is opportunity. Okay? So I can educate you and try and get rid of your rationalizations, and we can keep an eye open for pressure. The only thing I think you can control is opportunity. Okay? So it changes, the predator is because I can versus it just happened to me. So one of the things I really want to tell you guys today is protect your people by putting in good processes so they don't turn into the accidental fraudster. Almost all of them are accidental fraudsters. There's the occasional predator. Okay, almost all of them are accidental. So that's the accidental fraudster. If you put in things in place, they probably won't do it. 95% of fraudsters have never committed another crime, in case you're wondering what the stats are.